Hey, everyone! Have you ever gotten confused between words like floor and ground or journey and trip? Today, we're clearing up 12 confusing English nouns with simple explanations, examples, and a fun quiz. Plus, grab our free ebook on 60 confusing words. Link in the description. Let's start with floor versus ground. The floor is the flat surface inside a room where you walk or stand. The ground is the earth's surface outside, like soil, grass, or concrete. For example, we sat on the floor in the living room to eat pizza, but we sat on the ground under a tree for a picnic. Next up, journey versus trip. A journey focuses on the act of traveling from one place to another, often longer distances. A trip is when you go somewhere and come back, usually for a short time. For example, the journey to Paris takes about 3 hours, but I've just been on a trip to Rome. Now, opportunity versus possibility. An opportunity is a positive situation that lets you do something you want. A possibility is something that might happen or be true. For example, I had the opportunity to study in Spain, but there's a possibility it might rain tomorrow. Finally, for this section, shade versus shadow. Shade is the cooler, darker area where sunlight is blocked, like under a tree. Shadow is the dark shape cast by something blocking light. For example, let's sit in the shade to avoid sunburn, but the tree casts a long shadow on the wall. Urdu translation. Okay, it's quiz time. Test what you've learned. Question 1. When the fireworks started, everyone sat on the ___ and looked up at the sky. Question 2. There's a real ___ that the event will be canceled due to bad weather. Pause and think. Then check the answers in the comments. Answers. Question 1 is ground because fireworks are outside. Question 2 is possibility, as it might happen. How did you do? Share your score in the comments. Advice and advise are two of the most commonly confused words in English. Although they look similar and are related in meaning, they belong to different parts of speech. Advice is a noun, which means it refers to suggestion or guidance given to help someone make a decision. For example, my teacher gave me good advice about studying for exams. On the other hand, advise is a verb, which means to give someone guidance or suggestions. For example, my teacher advised me to study for 2 hours every day. A simple trick to remember the difference is that advice ends with the sound S, like ice, and advise ends with the sound Z, like rise. Many English learners make the mistake of saying, "Can you give me an advice?" This is incorrect because advise cannot be used after an. The correct sentence is, "Can you give me some advice?" The word advice is uncountable, so we do not use a or in before it. Instead, we use some or a piece of. Meanwhile, advise changes form depending on the subject. You can say, I advise, she advises, or they advised. Understanding this difference is important for professional communication, especially in emails, interviews, and academic writing. If you use the wrong word, you may sound less confident or even unprofessional. So remember, advice is the idea and advise is the action.